The AK-47, officially known as the Avtomat Kalashnikova, also known as the Kalashnikov or just AK, is a gas-operated assault rifle. It is the originating firearm of the Kalashnikov, or AK, family of rifles. After more than 7 decades since its creation, the AK-47 model and its variants remain one of the most popular and widely used firearms in the world. The Type 56, Chinese, 56 or Tuji Bucheng, literally, assault rifle, model of 1956, also known as the AK-56, is a Chinese 7.62 by 39mm rifle. It is a variant of the Soviet-designed AK-47, specifically Type 3 and AKM rifles. The original Type 56 assault rifle was an almost exact copy of the Soviet AK-47 with its milled receiver. Later on, Chinese designers switched to AKM-type stamp receivers under the same Type 56 designation. The only notable differences were the markings in Chinese instead of Russian and the folding non-detachable spike-shaped bayonets, which replaced the original detachable knife bayonets of Soviet origin. During early 1980s, People Liberation Army of China adopted a new assault rifle of domestic origin, known as Type 81, which gradually replaced Type 56 rifles in frontline service. Despite of that fact, Type 56 rifles are still manufactured by Chinese state arms factories in a variety of versions for export purposes. Norinco Corporation also sells civilian versions of the Type 56 rifles, semi-automatic only and in several calibers, including 7.62 by 39 and 5.56 by 45mm. The Type 56 rifle was designated by the Chinese military as Type 1956 submachine gun because the Type 56 took the role of SMG rather than infantry service rifle in the People's Liberation Army in the rifle's early service years. Type 56 is a gas-operated, selective fire weapon. The receiver is machined from steel in early versions, the 2 lugged bolt locks into receiver walls. Later models, however, were made with stamped steel AKM-type receivers, but retained the same Type 56 designation. The Type 56 has AK-47 style controls with a reciprocating charging handle and a massive safety/fire selector lever on the right side of the receiver. The furniture is made from wood, and a compact version with an underfolding metal buttstock is also available. Designation is Type 56-1. Alternatively, a version with side-folding buttstock is produced as Type 56-2. The only visible difference from the Soviet AK-47 is a permanently attached spike bayonet, which folds under the barrel when not in use. Some sources said that quality of those guns was worse than of Soviet original ones. Most notably, at least some Type 56 rifles lacked the chrome plating in the barrel and gas system area, and thus were much less resistant to corrosion. Type 56 has a removable knife-type bayonet. It has some modifications which has a folding type, cruciform section, bayonet attached to a stud on the unday section of the front sight base. The Chinese Communists were also made the 7.62mm Type 56 carbine, copy of Soviet SKS, with a cruciform section folding bayonet. Production started in 1956 at State Factory 66, but was eventually handed over to Norinco and Polytech, who continue to manufacture the rifle primarily for export. Countries as Albania, Bangladesh, Cambodia, Sudan, Vietnam, Malta, North Korea, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka are users of Type 56 or its variants. The United States also purchased the Type 56 from the PRC to give to the Mujahideen guerrillas during the Soviet war in Afghanistan. Some of this model allegedly used on November 13, 2015 in terrorist attacks in Stade de France and Bataclan in Paris, France.